So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Plan is Through Ascendant series of the week. And today we're going to be covering a moon in the fifth house in the sign of Gemini. As in, what happens when moon is ruling the sign of Gemini, or not ruling, sitting in the fifth house in the sign of Gemini, while it rules the sixth house with the sign of Cancer. And as always, if you do not know if you have this particular position, what sign it's in, what nakshatra it's in, all the astrological details, for that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, and my books, consultations, and link to my academy, Vedic Astrology Academy, where I'm currently teaching the Mahadasha course, and you'll find many other courses there. So, moon in the fifth house in Gemini. So fifth house is what? Fifth house represents children, education, speculation. Okay, it represents sports, fun, games, sports betting. It represents many things. It represents your probably brother or sister-in-law of the elder sibling. So it's a lot of things. So here, when moon in the fifth house, and this is just from my own experience by looking at this placement quite a lot, is that I've always seen people who tend to attain education either in environmental science, in communications, and healthcare, like medicine. Because obviously, if you look at the logic, sixth lord, which is ruled by moon, and moon, which is the karka, the significator of medicine and the environment, okay, is sitting in the fifth house of education and learning. Usually, moon in the fifth house also makes a person a great writer. And obviously, in the sign of Gemini, this person will be very curious, very active with their communication. Especially, you will notice this person, whenever they communicate, either they will communicate about suffering of children, suffering of people who are unprivileged, and they will be very unorthodox in their view. Like, this is an individual who has this kind of, like you can say, outcast approach of thinking and communicating. Usually I've seen people with, especially women with moon in the fifth house, they can have children early. Like literally sometimes early in their teens. Because here moon is showing that one has a strong debt to pay with children. And because moon represents the youth, the younger self of us, because moon represents when we were, being taken care of by our mothers, it shows that you yourself at a youth may actually take care of a child. And actually, I have seen few cases with that, but I've seen like people who are there 18, 17, 19, they will, let's say, work in a kindergarten and being either teacher's assistant or just teaching, young children. And the other thing we also see with this particular moon is that such an individual will elope with someone. At one point in their life, they may elope with someone. And especially when it comes to, a person's dealings and raising of their children, they kind of become like a best friend to their children. They will be very curious about wanting to know about their children. Here's the thing about this particular moon. This is a very youthful moon. A moon which kind of keeps up with the changing of the times, changing of the tides. And this is why they're able to relate to their children very easily. The other thing we also see that such a person, especially after birth of their children, will have great love for attaining gems. Somehow they want to own some jewelry with an authentic gem. And especially if a person is like in a field of environment or medicine, they are going to leave some kind of a legacy. Now, legacy doesn't mean that you are known as the Einstein. You're world famous, which is now easily doable, becoming world famous. But this is more about them making such a difference, even in that small sphere of their career field, that they do certain things that leaves a certain legacy for this individual. And this person also, and of course, for this, you'll have, I mean, I can't really say this is what it's going to do, because you have to look at ascendant and Mars. But usually a person always is involved in sports in their youth. Even if they're not the greatest of athletes, they just love to be involved in sports and games. But like I said, one of the main things I have seen is that a person's educational choice will have something to do with nature and environment. Now, of course, if you have, let's say, because I'm not talking about any conjunction or aspects of, let's say, Rahu was to be conjunct with Moon here, and let's say Mars aspects this conjunction, yeah, a person will attain education in like computer engineering and software engineering. But if usually Moon is here receiving benefic aspects like Jupiter and Venus and Mercury, usually it will be that. And yes, sometimes they can even go into being an author, a publisher, a writer, or maybe somebody who just wants to write, but of course they want to pay their bills, and so they're going to be, working in healthcare and environmental field. Okay. So anyway, guys, this was my analysis of Moon in the 5th house for Aquarius ascendant people. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below so you miss these type of videos. And if you want to know what your astrological details are and all my books, consultations, and my academy links, check out the links here or in my description. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow with a different, with the conjunction video. But also I want to just say, it's a friendly request. It's a very friendly request. Please don't show up to my house, unannounced. I know you guys are curious to meet me. I know you guys love me. Yes, I love you guys too, because you guys have made my life. But there are certain areas of life, it just becomes a little too weird. And it's something that I dealt with not just today, but several times in the past year. And it's a very awkward situation. So please, just respect my privacy. That's all I want to say. Thank you.